Gimmick TV, my name's Craig. It's 9 o'clock on a Sunday, which means it's time for a review show special. This is where I take a particular look, a particular deep dive at a product or a creator or a company or a dealership or a magic shop or a production company or whatever it may be, trying to bring to you reviews of some of the best magic that's out there. And today I'm going to do a deep dive on Steve Rowe Magic. Now, if you haven't seen the interview I did with Steve Rowe about a year ago, go check it out. Steve is genuinely one of the nicest guys in magic. He will help anybody at the drop of the hat. He is an incredible performer. He is a lecturer. He is an inventor. He is a creator. He is a tinkerer. He has like machines and it's like a mad scientist. And he has done he has done to chocolate when it comes to magic what Sean Farquhar did, to torn pictures. Like, the guy just has so much chocolate-related magic. I'm not going to go through his whole catalogue just because it would take me forever, but there's a lot of stuff you want to check out from Steve Rowe. One of the tricks that he's most well known for is Lolly Hero. If you don't know what Lolly Hero is, it's the trick where you have a lolly, you have somebody think of a celebrity or a superhero, and you bite the lolly, and you've kind of basically made a sculpture of the person's head using the lolly. It is incredible. Steve Rowe is incredible. There's so much stuff he does that is absolutely incredible. It's why I wanted to do this review show for you, so that I can highlight some of his newer items that he has available. I'm not going to talk about Lolly Hero. If you want to see more about Lolly Hero and you want to find out more about Lolly Hero, go watch the interview I did with him about a year ago. It's in the Talk Magic playlist. Just type into YouTube, Craig Petty, Steve Rowe, interview, Magic TV, something like that. It'll come up. But we're going to have a look at some of Steve's newer stuff now. All of this is available directly and only from Steve Rowe Magic. There'll be a link in the description down below. But if you want to buy any of this stuff, you've got to get it directly from Steve. But without further ado, let's get straight into this week's review. Okay, so first up on the Steve Rowe review show, we're going to look at Polo Polo. We're going to be looking at Polo Polo. Steve Rowe presents Polo Polo by Daniel Reeves and Mike Brown. Impossible object, incredible gift, perfect for walk around and table magic. And you know what? You're not wrong. What this is basically is a really cool, really commercial chocolate themed magic trick. Of course, it's a chocolate themed magic trick. It's Steve Rowe. Now, for those people in the UK, we have these things called Rolos. I don't know if you've heard of them before. I don't know if you have them outside of the UK, but these are Rolos. They're basically chocolate cups with caramel inside them. And the marketing campaign for years was, do you love anyone enough to give them your last Rolo? The other thing that we have over here in the UK is Polos. Now, Polos are a little bit like lifesavers. They're our lifesavers. They're mints with holes in them. We just call them Polos instead of Rolos. And what this is a revelation of, it's kind of weird, but it's really, really good. So what happens is you have somebody think of some sweets, and they apparently get a free choice, but you're going to force them on Polos. So you're going to force Polos on them. And then you say that you've got a prediction in your top pocket, or you're going to make them appear, or whatever you want to do. I'm going to show you a live performance in a minute. But what happens is basically you say, I knew what you were thinking of. You were thinking of sweets, weren't you? Yes. They're round, aren't they? Yeah. I think I've got it. You were thinking of Rolos. Is that right? Rolos. And they say, no, it's Polos. And you go, what, Polos? No, oh my gosh, no, I can't believe I got it wrong. Don't worry about it, I can fix this. And then you take the Rolos packet and you say, watch, I'm gonna try it right there. And you just come up and you peel apparently part of the Rolos away, and they see the P from Polos underneath, which is an incredible moment, it really is. And then you snap your fingers and you open it, and when you open it, inside there's Polos, there's not Rolos. So it's like it's such a cool routine. Because, you've got this Rolos packet, you've got the prediction, classic magician in trouble, but then, you fix it when you realise that you've got it wrong. You've got this beautiful moment of peeling back the packaging and showing Polos underneath. Then you snap it open and you show there's Polos in there. It's really cool. Now, what you get with this is you get the Rolos. You get one specially made up. So there's Polos inside here. Steve has done this. So there's Polos inside here, not Rolos. And you've got the special label on there. This is good to go. But then as well as that, what you get is you get a straw. which is very important for making the gimmick. And you get, and I'll show you this, you get enough of these to make an absolute stack of the gimmicks. So if you really like this routine, and I do really like this routine, what you do is you go to the shops, you buy yourself like 50 packs of polos or something, and you prep this. And I thought that, and you get all of the gold packaging because that's what comes inside the Rolos, and you get the special Rolo packaging as well. So you get absolutely everything, and you just make it up. Yeah, you just make it up, and it doesn't take long at all because they've been pre-cut out and they're ready to go. It's a beautiful routine, it really is. I'm going to do a full performance of it for you right now. So let's have a look at the performance of Polo Polo. So I've got a deck of cards here. Now these are actually a deck of gift cards. So when you're struggling to find a gift for somebody, you go looking through these cards and you figure out what you're going to get.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you something because you see, not just am I a magician, but I'm also a mind reader. I've made a prediction. Right here in my top pocket, I have a prediction of what I think you're going to have. Now, all of these gifts are different. They're all there. They're all different. I think I know which one you're going to pick. And I'm going to prove it to you. So I'm going to cut packets of cards onto the table. And as I do, anytime you want to, just say stop.
Stop.
This packet, did you want to put it down on the table or leave it there?
Yeah, put it down.
Cool. So you want this card right here, yeah?
Yeah.
Now you could have picked any one of these. Sarah, I want you to have a look at that card. Remember it. Show the camera, but do not show me. It's very important I don't see. And to be honest, even though it's important I don't see, I know what it is because I made a prediction. Sarah, would it be impressive if I had in my pocket a prediction of what you picked? Yeah.
Yeah.
And here it is, Sarah. Rolos. Thank you very much.
No.
What do you mean no?
No, it wasn't Rolo.
No, it is Rolo. What did you pick?
I didn't pick Rolo.
What did you pick?
I picked Polo.
Yeah, Rolo. I've got it here. That's what.
No, Polo.
Polo. Oh, there's a technical term for this. It's called a cock up.
You didn't practice, did you?
Well, I did. These are Rolos, not Polos. Obviously. Okay, what am I going to do? I can fix this. Can the camera see the Rolos? Okay, there, Sarah. Can you see the Rolos? Watch this. I'm going to try and do something amazing right here. Look, if I just rub, I can actually start to pull away the Rolo packet, and as I do, underneath the Rolo packet, you wanted Polos, right? I mean, I could change the whole thing, but really, instead, I think the best thing to do is if I snap my fingers, I can actually change the inside of the contents, and I can actually have, instead of Rolos, Polos. Now there's Polos inside here. Every single one is a Polo, and that is the trick. Polos are good. You can have the rest. I know you love Polos. There you go. Anyway. Okay, so as you can see, the reactions for this are absolutely insane. This is typical Steve Rowe quality. This is really, really, really good. This is super commercial. I mean, the only downside, if you want a downside, is if you like this, you're going to have to go through the trouble of making the thing. But to be honest, if you sat there for one night, for about 3 or 4 hours, put your favourite film on, just sat there with a table, you know, you could knock out 20 or 30 of these. This is not the sort of thing that you're going to do 10 or 15 times in a night, but this is something that people are going to remember. This is the one that you want to do to the head table, to the bride, to the groom, to the CEO, that sort of thing. This is fantastic. I absolutely love this. I'm going to give this 100%. I think it's really good. I think it's super commercial. Obviously, people outside the UK, they might not, you know, this might not work as well because obviously you have lifesavers and not Polos. But if you have a place where you can get Polos and Rolos, this is great. And I plan over the next couple of days to sit down and make an absolute stack of these up. Typical Steve Rowe quality, super commercial. You know, it's just that moment of strange, isn't it? It's the sort of thing you'd see like Paul Harris do, isn't it? Like, okay, what, you said Polos? Don't worry, let me just rip the packaging apart and change everything into Polos. Like, it's such a strong routine. Creatively, my hat's off to both Steve Rowe and the guys that created it. These brought it out with it. Well done, guys. Let's move on to the next routine. Okay, so next up, we're going to be looking at this. Now, this is a special gimmick card that Steve has designed. Looks like a mixed up Rubik's Cube, and it's on the back of a special gift card. Now, this is designed to work with his gift deck, which we're going to get to in a little bit. This is the gift deck. But I want to talk about this first of all. This is like an incredibly visual moment that, although it will work really well on social media and Instagram, this is so cool for real life performances as well, because you can have this in your top pocket and you can show a picture of a Rubik's Cube on there and you can say, well, I've got this gift card, I've got a Rubik's Cube on there, watch, and you can throw it up in the air. And when you do, it's solved in midair, which is so cool. And it's a great lead into Rubik's Cube magic. So you can go and transition from something into Rubik's Cube magic because you can do this. And then you can say, well, let me show you something with a real Rubik's Cube. That's all it is. I wanted to show it to you. It's one of the best flat cards I've ever seen because it's all internal. And it's an instant reset. So when you show it, you put it away in your pocket. When you want to bring it out to do it again, all I have to do is this. And now I'm ready to do it again. So now it's set up in position and I can do it again. And if you don't want to do the throw up in the air, you don't have to. There's lots of other ways of doing it. So you could just drop it on their hand, for example, and it'll solve. There's a lot of different ways of doing it. But it's a really beautiful piece of magic. It really is. Steve makes each one of these by hand. And, you know, if the goal of a magician is to do something super visual, that really kind of makes people go, wow, well, that's what this is. This is super visual. And it's just... And like all of Steve's stuff, it's commercial. And I think that's the thing with Steve Rowe. He's a worker. He goes out and he works gigs. He knows what works. He knows what doesn't. And he doesn't do pipe dreams. This is a real working routine. I'm going to show you a quick performance of this. So let's have a look at a performance of this. And then we'll talk about why it's so good. To do, I'm going to show it to you. I've also got Sarah behind the camera. Hey, Sarah, how you doing?
Hey.
It's been a long time since we've done a Magic Live, you and me.
I've forgotten what we do.
I know, right? I got these really cool deck of cards here. This is called a gift deck, right? And each one of them is a gift. And there's loads of stuff here. There's a winning lottery ticket, an 8-ball, a crunchy bar, a goldfish, a Kit Kat, some Clearasil, some flowers. The list goes on and on and on. There's a whole bunch of stuff here. And I'm going to have you pick one of these. And whichever one you pick, I'm going to do some magic with it, okay? So the idea is really simple. Sarah, I'm just going to cut packets of cards onto the table like this. Anytime I want to, just say stop.
Stop.
Right there, are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. So I have to do magic with this thing that you've stopped on. This is a Rubik's Cube. And it's kind of weird that you can pick a Rubik's Cube because I can actually solve a Rubik's Cube, Sarah. I really can. But I'm going to try and solve this one by magic. Are you ready? Happens on 3. 1, 2, 3. That's, I mean, I thought that was pretty quick, really, wasn't it? I mean, that's solving a picture of a Rubik's Cube. So there you go. So there you go. That's my personal routine with it. And we'll talk about the gift deck in a minute, but I use it with the gift deck. So I just have it on the gift deck. Anybody who's got this will know. I just have this here. I have it all set up so I can do a force of the Rubik's Cube card. I can have a prediction and I can go straight into the revelation. So, you know, it's very, very simple, but there's nothing wrong with simple. Sometimes simple is the best. I've done this for many, many years. This is a great opener as well, because you can actually walk up to a group and say, hey, my name's Craig, I'm the magician. I'm going to do some magic for you. I'd like to show you solving a Rubik's Cube, but not a real Rubik's Cube. I'm not that good. I can solve one of these. How's that? Is that the sort of thing you were looking for? Like I said, that's what I do. I do magic, and now you're into it. It makes an amazing opener. I can't say enough good things about this. I'm going to give it 100%. It's really cool. Let's move on with the next review. So the next review is the gift deck. I mentioned this before because obviously this Rubik's Cube card comes part of the gift deck. Well, it doesn't, but you can add it to the gift deck. But what this is a deck of cards that Steve has designed. And from the back, it looks just like they're gift cards. It looks like you've got a pack of cards that have got a special gift on the back. And on the front, all of them have got different images, and they are all completely random. But what is really cool about this is you can kind of let your imagination run wild. You really can, because there's so many different items in here that you can incorporate into tricks. So, for example, you saw earlier on, there's a little Lego man somewhere. Well, the Lego man is great because it means that you can, you know, maybe you make a little Lego man appear. So maybe you get them to cut the deck, and they cut the deck anywhere they want to, and you say, right, okay, you're gonna have a look at where you cut, and you show them this, and then you make a little Lego man appear or something like that. So many different ways. You've actually got the Lego logo there as well. You've got different drinks and so on and so forth. You have got lollies in here, which Steve Rowe does an awful lot of stuff with lollies. mainly because he's a big fan of Kieran Johnson, so he does a lot of lolly productions and a lot of different routines with lollies. So if you're doing a lolly production, for example, so you're making a lolly appear, what you can do is you can force it from here. So you can say, look, I've got a piece of paper here. Can you hold on to the piece of paper? I'm going to make anything appear that you want. Just do me a favor, take one of these. What have you got? A lolly? Okay, can you pass me the lighter? There it is, a lolly. So you can incorporate, if you're doing various different routines with various different props in your act, you can build this into it. He's got a real Rubik's Cube, which is really cool, that matches the Rubik's Cube that I showed you earlier on. And you actually get in here a double backer as well. So if you wanted to, what you could do is you could have your Gimmick Card set up under your double backer, like that. So you could have your Gimmick Card set up under your double backer. You could have this ready to force. You could force the card, let them see it, blah, 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 blah. In that action, you just get yourself your little break. You take their card back, you do the double turnover after they've examined it, and now you're into the routine. Now you're into being able to do the solve. So, you know, the double backer in there really helps a lot. Then you've got various other things as well. You've got like lots of different Lego characters, which is great because you can do transpositions. Sharpies. Imagine having imagine making a Sharpie appear from this deck. You know, you take a Sharpie card, you make a Sharpie appear. At the very, very beginning, you've got a solved cube as well. At the very, very beginning, I talked about the Rolos and Polos thing. Well, you've actually got in here Rolos and Polos. So you've got Rolos, there you go, you've got some Rolos there, sorry, some Polos and some Rolos. You've got fruit pastels as well, which is going to become important later on because you're going to see something that Steve's brought out with fruit pastels, lemons. It's just a really, really fun idea because at the end of the day, excuse me, at the end of the day, when we do magic, what the ultimate goal is to make it interesting, right? Not to do a million card tricks. Not that there's anything wrong with a million card tricks before people turn around to Paul Gordon and say, hey, Paul, Craig said he hates card tricks. That's not the thing at all. But what I like to do personally as a close-up magician is I like to vary things up a bit. I don't want to do just card tricks. I don't want to do just coin tricks. And part of the goal for me, at least, is when I go to a gig, I want to make it look like they're seeing something they've never seen before. And if I just wrap an elastic band around this and say, I've got these cards here as a gift deck, I'm going to show you something with this. I can have this set up to do 2 or 3 things. So I can have my little Rubik's Cube set up at the beginning. So if I want to do a nice visual opening, I can do the Rubik's Cube thing. Then I can have some fruit pastels set up for something you're about to see in a bit. Then I can have the Rolo Polo thing set up. I can have a lolly set up. I'm good to set this up and do so many different things with it. It's a great concept. And you know what? I think the only person that could have ever made anything like this is Steve Rowe. But outside of being a great concept, also, you can use this to do drawing duplications if you want to, because ultimately, at the end of the day, you could do mind reading with this or drawing duplications, because you can obviously force whatever it is that you want to force, and then once you've forced it, you can write it down. So you can have, you know, like 4 people think of something and you can write them down, or you can reveal them, or you can do mind reading. If you're going to do an 8-ball production, there's a lot of stuff with 8 balls on the NETRIX. You've got an 8-ball card. Yeah, there's just tons of stuff. It's also going to get 100%. I'm a big fan of Steve Rowe stuff, and I think this is such a super commercial idea. I love it. It's going to get 100% from me. If I were you, I'd get yourself a gift deck, because you'll have so many different ideas with this. You just won't be able to stop yourself. All the ideas will come flooding in. Okay, so we're going to talk about 2 more things now. We're going to talk about 2 more things. The first thing we're going to talk about are these, which is probably what I think is one of the funnest things that Steve Rowe produces. This is a fruit pastel pen, which is just ridiculous when you think about it, but it's a fruit pastel pen. So it's designed to look like a pack of fruit pastels. Now, if you don't know what fruit pastels are, these are sweets in the UK. Roundtree's fruit pastels, they're like fruity, gummy sweets. But what Steve's done is he's taken these fruit pastels, and it's actually a pen. It's a pen built into some fruit pastels. So it looks like it's a pack of fruit pastels. It's actually a pen. Now, for a commercial close-up worker, when you're out doing comedy magic and you want just to have a good time, this is a great thing to carry around in your pocket, because you can just go up to a table and say, hey, my name's Craig, I'm the magician, I want to show you a trick. It uses a pack of cards. Sir, can you do me a favour? Can you pick a card? Wonderful. When you took the card, I want you to write your name on it so it's unique. Can you take this for me and write your name on the card for me? Nice big letters. And they're just going to look at you like you're crazy because you've just handed a packet of sweets out to somebody to get them to sign their name on the card. And it's like, what is this guy doing? This just doesn't make any sense. And they'll look at you and you'll go, oh, it's this really awkward moment. And you go, oh, sorry, hang on. Yeah, you need to take the lid off first. And it's just really funny. It's a really funny bit. And sometimes people forget that when you're performing magic professionally, when you're performing magic at real gigs, part of the thing is to make it entertaining. I would rather people walk away from the table and go, I was entertained, than I was fooled. Or I obviously would like both. But we all meet those people that say, oh, I don't really like magic. This is great, because it's just so funny. It's just ridiculous. And this is one of the, I've got two of them here. Ryland's got one, I've got one. This is one of my favourite things that Steve Rowe produces. I think this is just great. It's his sense of humour and my sense of humour are very much in line. You could absolutely incorporate this into a trick if you wanted to. So, for example, you could use your gift deck. And you could force fruit pastels, and you could force Sharpie. And you could have this, for example, in a prediction. So you can have this in an envelope or something which you've given out to somebody, and you say, I'm going to predict two things. Can you do me a favour and say stop? Very good. Can you say stop? Wonderful. I'm going to have predicted in there both of those things. What have you got? Fruit pastels. Okay. Well, let's just open it up. Open up the envelope I gave you from the very beginning. What's in there? Fruit pastels. Thank you very much. And what did you predict? What did you pick? A pen. You picked a pen. Is there a pen in the envelope? There's no pen in the envelope. Hang on a minute. There you go. We'll turn the fruit pastels into a pen. Does that work? Is that okay? That's fine, right? That's good. So you can kind of go down that route, which is just ridiculous, but it's really funny. In fact, let's do a performance of that, shall we? Let's have a look at that right now.
Sharpie marker. I'm going to try and show you how to make this appear and disappear. You see, if you want to make it disappear, you blow, do that, it disappears. You want to bring it back, you take a piece of nothing and you bring it back. If I put it over there like that, you can't see it until I pick it up and it comes back again. I can even take this and put it in my pocket, and obviously it stays in the pocket until I take another piece of nothing and make it disappear. I can even throw it up in the air. It looks like it disappears. It's not right there. I can keep doing this all day long. I mean, it's right over there. But if I want to kind of go one step further, I can put it in my pocket and make it appear back over here. Look. Oh, that's a pack of fruit pastels. But hang on, I can turn these fruit pastels into a pen. Watch, 3, 2, 1. There you go. Seriously, now we've got a kind of a fruit pastel pen. How weird is that? That's kind of not how I thought this trick would end up.
So there you go. That's an example of what you can do with a fruit pastel pen. A lot of the time, I just use it as a gag, but you can make quite a strong routine out of it as well. And then I want to bring these to your attention. These are card revelations that Steve has printed onto fruit pastel wrappers. So all you have to do is go and buy yourself some fruit pastels. Honestly, if you spend a few quid, if you spend a bit of money at Steve Rowe's shop, you're going to be spending twice as much money at the sweet shop down the corner. But what you have here is you have fruit pastels with various different reveals on. You've got 7 of hearts, you got 4 of diamonds, you got Jack of diamonds. I think there might be one more. No, just 3. 4 of diamonds, Jack of diamonds and Jack of hearts. 3 different reveals. So what you can do is you can do your fruit pastel gag if you want to, and then you can have a pack of fruit pastels set up with this label on it. So you've got this label set up on your fruit pastels from the very, very beginning. And so what you do is you do your thing. You've got your pen, you've got your fruit pastels. As you put it away, you just switch for a real pack of fruit pastels, which you put to one side. And then you go into your card trick. So you have them pick the card, and you say, look, I'll find it with the fruit pastels. Watch, if I just tap, is it on top? No, it's not. Okay, well, watch this. Watch the label. Do you see where it says fruit pastels? Watch this. And then you rub it, and it changes into 4 of diamonds, which is just a really nice moment. Again, it's commercial. And that's what Steve's stuff is. It's commercial. It's not the cleverest method in the world, but that's not what you're buying from Steve Rowe. What you're buying from Steve Rowe is something, you can have your most expensive gimmick in the world. You could spend 100 quid on some James Bond thing that's so ridiculously clever. And you know what? I'm going to go to that same gig, and if I'm there with you, I'll knock them dead and get a better reaction with my fruit pastel pen, because that's what this is. It's entertaining. Magical as well, but entertaining first and foremost. And it is magical. If you've ever made writing on something change, people just buy into that big time. So there you go. I'm going to say it again, 100%. I mean, I'm very high on Steve Rowe. I think he's great. This is another example of something that's really, really good. I'm giving it 100%, 100% for these, 100% from these. Let's move on. Okay, I want to share with you another gag now. And I guarantee you that if you buy this, your audiences will absolutely love it. It's a Sharpie, okay? It's a specially made Sharpie. And what this Sharpie does is it has an extendable mirror on the back of the Sharpie, which extends up like this. It's an extendable mirror on a Sharpie. So why are you carrying around an extendable mirror on a Sharpie? It's for a gag. It's just for a gag. Like a lot of Steve Rowe stuff, it's funny. So you have somebody pick a card. And half of the thing, and I think that this is turning into more of a kind of a theory lesson on performing professionally in the real world. But again, without hammering the point or laboring the point too much, it is so important to make things entertaining. And what's really important when you're performing in the real world is making sure that you fill moments of silence with something. You know, I've seen so many professional magicians that go out and it's like, right, okay, pick a card. Right, can you sign the card? And it's just silence while they're waiting for the card to be signed, or while they're spectators shuffling the deck, or whatever it may be. Complete abject silence. You need to fill those moments with something entertaining. Chat to the audience, do something magical, whatever you want to do. And this is one perfect example. So you have someone pick a card and you say, I won't look, I'm going to turn around, can you show it to everybody? And just blatantly in front of the audience, all you do is you just take your Sharpie out and you just act like you're looking behind your shoulder at what the card is they've picked. And then when you go, yeah, have you shown it to everyone? Fantastic, let's move on. And then you just turn around, you put this in your pocket and you move on. And it's just this gag of having this thing on this Sharpie that you can kind of look behind and see what somebody's doing. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. It gets a great reaction, which is what it's all about. Now, if this doesn't fit your character, that's fine. If you're a suave, sophisticated, debonair style magician and you wouldn't be caught dead doing this, that's not a problem. It fits my character. I absolutely love it. But if this doesn't fit your character, find something else to fill the time with. That dead time, chat to your audience, do something magical, make something appear, whatever it may be. For me, this is great because I can just literally have it in my pocket and I just know it's going to take up no pocket space and it's going to get an insane, funny reaction when I just do that. And it's another reason why Steve Rowe is an absolute genius. So yeah, I'm going to give this 100% as well. Like I say, I'm really sorry I'm giving everything 100%. I can only give you my opinion. And there's probably more Steve Rowe things in my working repertoire than anything else. And that's because his stuff is super commercial and super golden. So I'm going to give this 100% as well. So there you go, guys. That's another review show special in the bag. I want to say thank you to Steve Rowe for, basically just being awesome, to be perfectly honest, and creating stuff that nobody else would create, that my audiences love. Like I said at the beginning of the review, you can go and get this stuff directly from Steve Rowe. That is the only place that you can get it. So if you want to go to Steve Rowe Magic and go check out everything, he does ship worldwide and he is a super nice guy. And while you're there, you can check out everything else he does. He does a wonderful range of polymer notes, sort of Tyvek notes and bills. He does obviously an entire range of Lolly Hero, breakaway Sharpies, which is like a Sharpie marker that's like a breakaway one but a Sharpie marker, and a load of other stuff as well. He's just brought out a range, which I'll be looking at some point down the line. He's just brought out a range of holders for a jacket, for a belt, where you can hold stuff like lollies and you can hold stuff like Sharpies and playing cards and decks of cards and stuff like that. So go check out his entire product range. He's absolutely amazing. And also, thank you very much for joining me once again here on Magic TV. I hope you enjoyed the review show special. Let me know in the comments down below. You want to see more videos like this, you know what you got to do. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. If you haven't already done so, go check out the NETRIX, the #1 magical streaming platform. It's www.thenetrix.com, and we are uploading new stuff all of the time on there. It's super fun. We're building a really big community, and you can try it out for a month and see what you think with no obligation. So go check it out right now, and I'll be back again tomorrow with 3 videos. At 2 o'clock a shorts, at 6 o'clock a live, and at 9 o'clock I'm going to be back with a magic 5x5. I'm going to be back with a 5x5. So there's a lot going on. I'll see you again soon. My name's Craig from Magic TV.